What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is a UK troller brother, dr.blick, the darkest man around. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a nice, fun, relaxed discussion. Will My Hero Academia, or should I say, can My Hero Academia surpass One Piece in sales? Whether it's volumes sold yearly, or whether it is all-time sales. Can it surpass One Piece in some shape or form? I saw a tweet by Swagger Apple on Twitter, so I wanted to discuss about this in a video, and I brought with me today MrNinja Star. So say hi to the people, man.
Hello to the people. I'm happy to be joining Blick on this fun discussion where we're going to be talking about this new up-and-coming shonen, which I would say is probably the most defining of the current, or like the new manga. It's definitely like the most popular, and I mean, could it surpass the GOAT? Could it surpass the king of shonen and all that? I mean, it's an interesting debate considering My Hero had a really good year this year.
I totally agree with that. Like, when it comes down to my personal opinion or whether I feel like it can surpass it, it's possible. Obviously, it's not impossible, but I feel like people are acting a bit too fast in terms of how well it's gonna do. Because you got a series like Bleach that had a strong start, but when it got to the tail end of Bleach's running as a series, it started to decline and it started to not do as good as it did from the beginning. There's a lot of series that started off strong that kind of fizzled out in the end. You got a series like Hunter x Hunter started off strong, and as the years go on, we started to see that Togashi became inactive, and he still gets hold as the greatest mangaka of all time, just based on the fact that we see the potential that he has that he's done with two series. He's made two solid series. But I got to ask you, Ninja, yeah, what do you think? Do you think My Hero can surpass One Piece? And if it does, yeah, why would you think it surpassed One Piece?
So I think there's definitely the chance sometime in the future, given how I would say My Hero is a wider appeal to people than One Piece does. And I mean, in its 4-year run, it's done pretty good so far. And like, you know, the concept of superheroes is definitely more appealing to the general public, where stuff like the MCU is now being kind of mainstream. So it's like, well, you know, kind of fitting in with that superhero trend that's going on. So yeah, I think My Hero definitely has the chance, and superheroes have always been popular. And that being said, though, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, because this year My Hero had a really, really good year. You know, I've seen a lot of people complain that the manga wasn't as great in quality. I mean, we got one really fantastic arc, but everything else was kind of an afterthought if you really look at it. But in terms of everything else, though, I mean, it had a movie, the 4th year into its run, the movie that generally got good reception and got a lot of success in the States and in Japan. It had its first game. Granted, that game was absolutely, I didn't hear very good things about it, but it's still a game, and it did seem to perform well in Japan. The anime was popping very much so with season 3, and there's a lot of the backlogging too is pumping out a lot of volumes this year. So My Hero definitely had a very successful year. Now granted, this might be consistent from here on out, but then again, it's like, I don't think they're going to be pumping out a movie every year that really helps it out. I don't think they're going to be pumping out a game every year, that like a major console game that really helps. So I think this year peaked, but it's gonna take a little while before it can find another peak. So within like the next few years, I don't see it surpassing One Piece in terms of volume sales. And it's also like individual volume sales. I mean, it only sold, like, each One Piece volume was selling like, I think, in the millions. One Piece only released 3 volumes this year. My Hero was pumping out several, but it was like in the 500,000, so it wasn't even like close to the millions. So, you know, it's an interesting discussion, but I think like when One Piece ends, I think My Hero will definitely be the number one, but in the coming future and like the near future, I don't think there's a chance. I rambled on a lot there, but you can go.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Like, I know what you said, like, when One Piece ends, My Hero will be number one, but the crazy thing about it is there's gonna be other series that we haven't even heard of, that we don't even know about, that hasn't even been created, that could come and body My Hero. That's very possible. And I do feel like My Hero is going to be a solid series in the long run. I've always felt that. I've never really doubted My Heroes as a series. It's just that you never really know. And the fact that One Piece is getting into its prime years of it being a series, it's gonna make it harder and harder because you're seeing characters like Zoro getting reappeared into the series. You're seeing epic stuff happening. You're seeing the tempo of the fights and all that stuff starting to pick up, because one of One Piece's biggest dips was kind of how good the New World got. There was a long debate where a lot of people were saying, is the New World as good as pre-time skip? Is time skip as good as pre-time skip? Because pre-time skip is pretty solid, but a lot of people were waiting for that one arc that tops like a Marineford, that tops an Enies Lobby, that tops what's that other arc? Sabaody. They're looking for arcs that tops that in the New World, and One Piece for the most part getting into the New World, it has been pretty slow, and it's starting to get into the groove of it. We're starting to see great fights, we're starting to see great character development, we're starting to see interesting characters, we're starting to learn more and more about the series. And there's one thing I noticed, and this could be just for views, but I do not know, a lot of people are starting to get into One Piece. I'm not sure whether it's for views. If it's not for views, One Piece's popularity is growing, because I'm seeing a trend of a lot of people starting to get into One Piece, and if those people stick by One Piece and truly love One Piece's popularity in the West will grow. It will grow. And in my opinion, I just feel like One Piece is getting better and better in my personal opinion, in terms of the tempo of the arc, in terms of how things are getting paced. Everything is moving in a good amount of speed. You got anything else to add on to that, Ninja?
Yeah, I actually do. Like that thought just reminded what you said reminded, you know, a bunch of things to me. One of those, like the big thing kind of correlating to all that, is I think going back to like my earlier point of My Hero not surpassing One Piece in the coming years, I mean, like you mentioned, with many more people getting into One Piece, I think the Olympics in 2020 that are going to be held in Japan are going to give One Piece a huge boost. I think that also maybe had a role to play in kind of Wano being delayed so it could actually go on during the Olympics. So, you know, when people like say travel to Japan or whatever, and they see like, oh, this big popular thing, it's right now it's in like its best arc of the series, or it's in this crazy peak in the manga. So it's going to interest a lot of people, and I think One Piece is definitely going to get that boost after 2020. So I don't think My Hero's gonna get as much of a boost, just because it already kind of has that West cult following, whereas One Piece has already like built up its status so much. I mean, it's only going to get more of a boost. I mean, a lot of the Dragon Ball community is getting into One Piece as well. A lot of people from other communities are getting into One Piece. And My Hero is generally more mainstream, I would say, at least in the West and at least in a lot of English-speaking countries. But I think in terms of Japan, the big notable point of it all, I think One Piece is going to be very, very, very hard to beat within like the near future. Maybe though, I remember there was one year, I think it was like 2005 or something, where Naruto beat One Piece. It was like, and it was weird because One Piece was during like One Piece's Enies Lobby arc, which a lot of people consider the best. So I don't know though, it could be like a reverse effect like that. But
keep in mind, One Piece only really started to get its popularity at Marineford. So One Piece wasn't as popular back then.
Yep.
Like Enies Lobby is seen as one of the best arcs in the series, but One Piece's true popularity started to come at Marineford. Marineford is when the popularity started to rise in Japan. So Naruto beating One Piece back in 2005, I can see that absolutely happen, because One Piece really started to truly get popular when Marineford happened. That's when a lot of people started to get into One Piece. A lot of One Piece fans started to get into One Piece when it was at that time period. And it makes sense to see that a series like Naruto beating One Piece, because Naruto in 2005 and then early 2000, Naruto was booming. It was booming. Everyone was talking about Naruto. Everyone loved Naruto. Naruto was the thing that people watched. I remember I used to see it in the UK on I can't remember what channel it was, but I used to see it all the time. I used to see people watching it in sub. I used to see people playing the games on the PS2, playing Ultimate Ninja. Naruto was big over here, man. Especially when people was calling it Naruto. Naruto was big over here, and I'm sure it was even bigger in America as well. So a lot of people did know about Naruto. A lot of people did love Naruto, and it was a series that resonated with a lot of people over here. It's the appeal, and One Piece's appeal hasn't been that great because they haven't been advertising it the right way. They've been showing the goofy aspects. We're seeing stuff on 4Kids, and now people are starting to give One Piece a chance. So it's possible, man. It's really possible that My Hero can still pass it. But I did see in a video somewhere that if One Piece characters are selling the way it does, it could be the second best-selling manga of all time. With the rate that it sells, because it sells more yearly than Batman and Superman.
Your number one best-selling comic.
On yearly average, like One Piece averages way more sales. Batman doesn't even sell a million comic book sales a year. Neither does Superman. So that already speaks volumes, man. In terms of sales, if it carries on going at the rate, it could eventually surpass it. If it carries on going at that rate, like I said, it carries on. You never know with these series. Like these series could be the thing today, and they could be they could be trashed another day. Like we never know with these series. Who would have thought when Bleach was booming that it would be at the route it was? Who would have thought that? No one would have thought. No one would have thought that Naruto would have ended not as good as it did. The final chapters of Naruto didn't really do that well, from what I remember. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me down in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure the final chapters of Naruto didn't really do that greatly. Well, you got anything else to say to that?
I mean, yeah, not like a lot of these series can switch up. Like, who knows, maybe My Hero next year will end up having a really classic arc that will be up there, that people will put up there with like Soul Society, Sasuke Retrieval, Enies Lobby, a lot of these classic shonen arcs. The Dark Tournament.
Clover switches positions.
Yeah, you never know, man. Who knows? Maybe Wano arc is garbage. I'm kidding, but like, nah, you really can. I mean, it really can be hard to tell in terms of the quality, because like you mentioned, a lot of people didn't expect Bleach to go the way it was. And I mean, with My Hero, it could be like a lot of people are underestimating it, but 2 million short, that's still fairly impressive, but there's a lot of different there's a lot more context when you look at it. So it's like that question I think can still be put to rest, but maybe in a few more years, after One Piece has already gotten that boost, if My Hero still follows up pretty well, then it can definitely be argued after the boost. I think that would be a great time to bring this topic back.
I totally agree. And that's pretty much the video. That's pretty much all we gotta say about this topic. But I want to know what you guys think about that. Leave it down in the comment section below, and also check out Mr. Ninja Star's channel in the description below. No, we're not talking about the Fortnite guy called Ninja. We're talking about Mr. Ninja Star here, so make sure you check him out. Link to that will be in the description below. Yeah, let me just wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please like, really enjoy this video. And yeah, this UK Chocolate Brother will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.
Jay-Z's lips.